Hey there, everyone. Daniel Lowry. And guess what? I just got back from BSides Tampa and thought, I got to tell everyone how much fun I had at that. It was a phenomenal time, a super blast. Got to hang out with my friends, got to meet some new friends. I just want to give a real quick thanks to the folks that put on BSides Tampa, all the volunteers, all the people behind the scenes that are making it happen. We thank you so much for putting on a great convention that allows us to come together and talk about the things that we're passionate about and have a space to just really dig into those things where in everyday life land I don't get to do that a whole lot with the average Joe on the street. So very cool stuff, and it was just a great con. You had great speakers, you had great talks, great vendors. It was super fun. So with that, let me just tell you a little bit about how it went down. Started my day off with registration, and of course that's where this lovely attire comes from. Tell me that shirt isn't just rad to the bone, right? With the mad scientist theme going on. It fits like a dream. I love the shirts that you guys do. Thank you, BSides Tampa, for being amazing on your shirt game. Very well. Very well. Of course, we also got a badge. I got my badge right here. Took the battery out because the LEDs are like insanely bright, which I love actually, but for the camera, it was not friendly. And a great lanyard. Everything about this was just top notch, pro level stuff, right? So you can play around with your badge. I think there was a badge thing going on, if I'm remembering correctly. So badge on point, excellent stuff. Then, of course, it was time for the vendor floor. Now, I'm not great at making sure I get to do the videos and taking pictures and stuff like that, but I did a little bit of it, and so I just wanted to let you be able to see here. Here's the vendor floor. I think ReliaQuest was one of the major sponsors, if not the major sponsor for this B-Sides. But there was a lot of great vendors there, and as you can see, plenty of people hanging out, talking, getting things done, walking around, checking out the cool booths. Everybody had a great booth. There was a lot of interesting stuff going on there. Let's see here. Then I kind of walked around to the other side, and there they had a place to do selfies, which I did not do because, like I said, I'm horrible at this. But they also had the arcade, which was awesome because you could play Rampage, which was one of my favorite games. I love Rampage. I love Miss Pac. It's like they knew me, like they were profiling me. They had Miss Pac-Man, Galga, a couple of pinball machines there. I can see my friend CJ just came through the door as the tall guy with the hat on back there with his kids. That was a lot of fun. And of course, we had to run over to the BHIS booth, which was this right here. You see John and a couple of the people that are helping us with the Future Is comic doing some signing, right? They are getting that signing, and there was a crazy line. It looked like Jason is getting his own videos and stuff like that. I had to change over, and then you could see Deb pretty well. Deb was there helping out. There's Shelby from Black Hills and Anti-Siphon. Getting the booth done, working our magic there. You could grab a copy of Backdoors and Breaches. So very cool, very cool. A lot of great stuff. We had a lot of great traffic. Talked to Shelby about the booth. She said it was just really great. I think she gave everything away, which lets you know how good it was, right? The people are interested in that stuff. So definitely go there, get you some cool gear, talk to those vendors. That's a great thing about cons that you get to do. Let's see here. Then I made my way over for the keynote area and the opening remarks, right? So here's a little preview of that. There's the stage. They were in this big theater, and the B-Sides people were getting ready for the opening remarks, and no lack of individuals, that's for sure. Plenty of people there, as you can well see. Very cool. And then finally got a seat. It was kind of hard to find a seat because there was so many people there. That was cool. And then it started, of course, the keynote, the opening keynote, which was Marcus Carey. If you're not familiar with Marcus Carey, you probably are. You just might not realize it. He's one of the authors in this book series. Right there, right? I think it says right there. Yep, Marcus J. Carey on the bottom, Tribe of Hackers. He told his story, and then he was talking a lot about AI being a very popular topic right now, but he is extremely interested in it and was making it very interesting for me, honestly. He even gave us a couple of resources. There's one right there called Kaggle. Took a picture of that. I was like, I'm going to look more into that. Maybe that's something I can use in my own workflow, incorporated. Never know. I gotta check that tool out. But let's see here. So after that was over, after the opening remarks and the keynote was done, we moved out into, the area. It was time to go find where you're going to go to do your first talk or meet with people or go back to the vendor floor, whatever you're going to do. I ran into casually Joseph in the theater where the keynote was happening. I'm like, Joseph from Simply Cyber. It's like, yeah, of course, I know him. We've hung out plenty of times. So it was really cool that he got to come out there and hang out. I know he's been super busy, so I'm glad he was able to make it. I was glad to be able to see him, talk with him, catch up, and do all that. But he was not the only one that was in town or lives near and came. It was awesome. So ran into TJ Williams, ran into Bijan White Hat Sheepdog from Cybercast IRL and Simply Cyber communities. They were showing up. FedEx was there as well. He was doing a lot of fun stuff. He had a lot of cool gear with these radio transmitters. I got to look into that. Meshtastic, I think it was something like that. I'm going to look into it. And then I ran into somebody that was kind of giving me the eye, and they're standing there, and I could see they wanted to engage, and I'm going, who is this? And she comes over. She said, I want to introduce myself. I'm Zach's mom. Here's a picture with me with Zach Hill of Anti-Siphon, right? IT career questions. His mom is like, she's wearing the full, malware finds a way, Anti-Siphon gear. Of course, she's supporting her boy as she does, right? Because she's awesome. She was a gem of a woman. I had a great time having conversation with her. Really, really fun to hang out with her. Of course, she told embarrassing stories about Zach. We know all the dirt. She spilled all the tea on you, Zach. Sorry, bro. She bust chucked you pretty hard. She didn't. It was fun. She was great. It was really nice to be able to meet your mom and hang out with her. Super nice lady. Who else came by, though? Oh, and of course, then I ran into some bros of mine, Infosc Pat and Kevtech. I met them there last year for the first time, and it was like instant bromance. We just kind of get along really well. A lot of fun. So I got to hang out with them, chew some dirt, talk some stuff, see what they were up to, do some catching up. Of course, then John Hammond, we see him waltzing around. I'm like, your YouTube sucks, John. And he just started laughing hysterically, right? Because we do the YouTube thing, and I gotta give it. I gotta give him the business, as it were. I gotta poke him a little bit because he's got 2 million subs, and I'm looking at a cool 14,000, just a little over. So I'm creeping up on him. I'm coming for you, John. I'm coming for you. No. He's a great guy and a friend. I love working with John. I love hanging with John, and it's always great to get that circle going of, like, at one point it was me, John, Infosec Pat, Kevtech, and some other people that came up to talk to us. And we were just having really good banter and conversation, and ideas were flowing and creativity was happening. And you start having like, oh, that's a good point. That would make a good, So it was a lot of fun to be able to do that. A couple of people that approached were people like Isaac. I think your last name is Rodart. And by the way, thank you for the meme, which we'll see here momentarily. It'll be fun. Another person that came up and talked to us was Marvin Kano. Very cool guy. I had some friends with them. Great people. And yeah, we were just having this great conversation going on about malware and, things that we've seen or done that we thought was tricky or crafty or clever or whatever. And it was just kind of fun to exchange those war stories and ideas and just stuff that we all find interesting. It's why we go to these cons, right? Because it's super stinking fun, and you get to do that with people. I was just talking about this the other day, right? Like how getting in with a group of people in real life is just a rocket ship for learning and ideas and creativity. To me, I feel like it is the fastest way to learn something, right? It's that immersion. You're immersing yourself because maybe they know something you don't know. Maybe you know something they don't know. And you want to kind of like maybe get a friendly rivalry going on. Like, oh, I can't let you be better than me about that. I got to go learn about that. And you kind of bring your A game next time you meet up. It's a lot of fun to be able to do that. So I highly encourage. That's one of the reasons we tell people to go to conventions. You meet cool people and you get to have ideas and you get to learn about new things. And you get to network, right? Maybe you meet somebody that you can help. Maybe you meet somebody that can help you. And that's a good thing, right? It's not like the good old boy system, as it were. It's like, well, son, you put enough in the old pie right there and I can find you a good job. No. it's all like, hey, we can all help each other and meeting cool people, and then you know who to recommend when something comes along. So very cool stuff. Ran into another a dude named John, not John Hammond, obviously. This was John Ingram. Very cool story. You'll be hopefully hearing that name again soon because I really enjoyed our conversation and it sparked an idea that I want to work with him on. So hopefully we see that soon. What else? Who else did we see? I saw my friend CJ. I ran into a guy named Andy who worked in sales and was wanting to pivot. He was like, "I'm super new," and then he tells me he knows Java. I'm like, bro, yeah, And we worked on what he can do to parlay, to take the things that he already knows and does to kind of start to boost him in the right direction to get to doing the things he wants to do in cybersecurity. He wants to be a SOC analyst. Or at least start there, right? I'm like, fire, let's make it happen. Start doing this, start doing that. I was giving him, and he was just such a great guy. I ran into Mike, my doppelganger. I can't think of his last name off the top of my head right now, which was fun. He took a picture of me, so I'm sure he'll be like, we took a picture together. Andy took the picture where you're like, oh, these are the same people. We had a fun idea about pulling the old switcheroo on a talk or something. It just having fun with the fact that we look like twins almost. Very, very funny stuff. So I really enjoyed hanging out with him. And that brings us to, it was the end of the day, honestly. This is what I did most of the day. Like most of the day. 98% of my day was talking with people and having great conversation, hearing a little bit about, I didn't even hardly get to go to a talk, which was not a bad thing. But I did make the final talk, the keynote, because it's John Hammond. Are you going to miss that? No, of course not. So we made our way over there. We got seated, got a good seat to be able to support John. And he always comes with really great topics, really great. He's very insightful. He's very knowledgeable. He's got a lot of great experience. And he always leaves you making you think about stuff. And of course, he said he wanted to start off with a question. You know what? I'll let him do his own talking. Here's John in his own words.
That's what I came here to do. I have learned over the years that the best way to kind of get started with the presentation is to ask a question. Hey, make sure to check in, see if y'all are still with me, still awake. So if I may, I'd love to not to do the stupid kludgy like audience interaction or audience engagement, but I would love to ask you a question if your hands are willing to come up. And I'll think about it today, right now, May 17th, 2025, and I'm going to ask you something stupid and simple. How do you feel like how along that? But more importantly, are you tired? That was awesome. Yeah, I'm feeling it too. I'm feeling a little bit tired. And I know it's funny, you gave that time date of like, oh, I woke up today, I woke up this morning, had some coffee, got an energy drink, whatever. But think about like 2025. Are you tired? Right? There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things that happen, a lot of changes, new innovation, new AI, big buzzword, here or there. But for the friends and folks I'm grateful for you raising your hand earlier, you've been in the industry for like 10, 15 years. You've been doing this stuff for a decade. So big, broad picture, if we zoom out and look back, 2015, are you tired? Yeah, okay, cool. I still see a couple hands raised, and that's all.
So yeah, are you tired? A little bit, right? You can definitely have been on the treadmill for so long. That was kind of his analogy is you're on the treadmill, you're doing the things, you feel like you got to show up, you got to be there, and you can't pull away from the keyboard ever or the bad guys win. And it is really tempting to feel that way and to think that way a lot. So I really enjoyed his talk, and it was a great way to reflect and go, And he talked a little bit about AI and things of that nature. It was like I said, really good talk. It's a good John Hammond talk. You won't be disappointed. He never does disappoint. But I did at one point feel like, you know what? John's talk could use a little oomph, a little pizzazz, a little spice, as it were. So I hacked in to the system and of course joined the talk. And this is compliments of Isaac. Of course. We had to rate it, right? Had to. Couldn't help ourselves. It was, sorry about that, John. But man, you were getting dull there for a minute. I thought, we got to pump the boy up, get it going. So we rated the talk. No, I was just kidding around. But great meme. Thank you so much, Isaac, for that. I literally laughed out loud when I saw that in my LinkedIn DM. I was like, "What is this?" So funny. So thanks again. And then that was it, right? That was the talk. John ended. Applause, applause, applause. Everybody got up, said their goodbyes tearfully. Well, so sad, right? Moved to their respective vehicles and departed and made their way home. And here I am telling you all about it. So thank you for watching this. Hopefully, if you've never gone to something like a B-Sides or a local con, do it. Don't wait. It is totally worth it. I don't care if it's small, if it's big, if it's medium sized. Meeting with people that share your passion is going to be really good for you and you're going to enjoy it. If you're ever in the Tampa area, the next time this con rolls around, I would recommend it. And there's other B-Sides in the Florida area. If you're in Florida, wherever you're at, look for those, check them out, see what other cons are available, not just B-Sides. A lot of great stuff out there. Get together with people. If there's a meetup you can find, go to it. If there's not one, start one. Find a group of people that you can really click with. And kind of like I said, hopefully that rocket ship of learning happens for you in that, because it's been my experience that more often than not, that is going to be the case. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Find yourself a con. And until next time, kids, keep hacking.